task is going to be opposite. We start with reasonable strong, and then it all goes downhill from there.
Good morning.
Sounds
Good
like getting older.
Yeah,
Good day, Tim. Yeah, I thought with a very low stall speed and a really light wing loading, I would have done far better under those conditions, but it was obviously far, far stronger. And especially once I got to that ridge line, I was for the K6, I was almost at V&E just trying to stay out of cloud. I said, this is not weak by any means of the imagination. Anyway, lesson learned.
Yeah, I was also irritated yesterday. The conditions were very well.
Joined your channel.
Hello, everybody.
Very strong. Hi, Andy.
Hello, Andre.
Hi, Andy.
Also on the top of the cloud where we had 7 meters lift. Was not weak, 7 meters lift.
Yeah, that was completely different from what I had expected. That's one of the reasons why I thought I'd try the K6, only just to figure out whether or not a much lower handicap would have made any difference, and it certainly didn't under those conditions. Anyway, that was my learning point.
Service up, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. But Doc, I have the same problem. I try to have a switch in my head, which I could switch between mountain and flatland. I struggle often when task is in flatland and in the hills, that I know when I could speed up or when I have to slow down immediately to fly a different flight style. This is very difficult for me.
Yeah, well, I have trouble in general realizing what these things can actually do. So, but I have to say though, I'm learning a lot, and since I started flying with you guys back in, I guess in December, I've noticed my speeds have gotten better. So, you know, I'm learning from pretty good competitors. That's what I have to say.
Me either. I learned a lot of Frank and Uwe. Almost from Uwe, and for me was not so clear that when they go to flatland, they immediately slow down from 1 second to another and have a slower speed, that they have a better glide ratio, and they do that so perfect that I'm always irritated when I see that.
For anyone who just joined, if you want to have something fun to do, look at the height of the airspace at turn point 3 and look at the height of the turn point at turn point 3.
And turn point 3 is a gate.
Yeah, and it's a gate. But look at the height of it and look at the airspace height.
Yeah, you're in the airspace.
Hi, guys.
Hi,
good.
Hi, good.
Hi, guys.
Hi,
everybody.
is the airspace there? It's a task point 3.
Oh, yeah.
The bottom of the
How
airspace
high is it?
It's like 400 and something meters, like 450 meters is the airspace.
Yeah, 457.
And what's about this gate? You have to fly through.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't
200
remember.
wide, 200 deep.
I can't remember which way you have to go. It says it's a west gate. I can't remember if that means you need to go west.
The direction is also important.
Yeah, on gates you have to go to the correct direction. Yeah, which also he didn't even put the gate in the right orientation for the direction we're coming from.
No, I think I zoomed in, and on the brackets, I think you're headed east. The gate is facing west, and you're going the proper direction. And you're coming from the 1,300 meters into the 450.
No, but it should be north or south. Basically, it should be the direction we're coming from. So you go through the gate and then turn. Not.
Yeah, the propeller is showing west. Azimuth is west. Yeah.
Yeah, but you've got 457 leading up to it. You're going to want to be out to the west and then come from the west to the east because you're under 1,300 meters. And you're going to want to just clip the very edge of it at the 457.
Oh.
Well, no, I mean
you have to show how this works.
No, you can't turn that without getting penalty points. There's no way to do that.
Yeah.
You have to fly a circle.
I'm surprised he didn't like put the start, make an air start with a height up high enough that we immediately start in airspace. That'd be a great task. Set the airspace is land out, and then you immediately land out as soon as you load in.
Do you have to fly through that gate from east to west, or from west to east?
Yep.
West to east.
West to east.
I
Okay.
thought it was east to west.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Now,
East to
I
west,
zoomed way
west
down
to
on
east.
it, and the brackets are showing that it's you enter from the west.
There's a little dot in the PDA. Although, okay, well, if you're using the Condor flight computer, it should have a little thing showing you which way to go. Oh, I've never actually done that with the Condor3 one, but the Condor2 one had a bar that would show up if you were facing the right direction. But
Yeah, I always thought that you flew into the brackets.
Yes, you do, and the brackets are facing to the west.
No,
Correct.
to the east.
Mine are facing to the east.
To the east. Mine.
Yeah, mine are facing east.
So coming from the east to the west is my opinion.
Wait,
Yeah.
okay, wait, hold on. You mean the concave or convex side of the gate? On mine, the concave side is to the east, and the convex side is to the west.
Okay. Same here.
Guys, I looked at the turn point information, and the azimuth said west, and I believe that means that that's the direction you have to fly through the gate at, which means you're like on a 270 heading, for example. You're flying to the west. At least that was my understanding. I could very well be wrong.
Yeah,
But that's my understanding.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought.
I am not going to say one way or the other. I do not remember. It's been too long since we've used these.
We're all going to get
Okay.
penalties anyway, so if we make it that far.
Well, we'll just wait for Nico to do it, and then we'll find out.
There's no penalty point for wrong entrance, so you just won't. It just won't let you turn if you go the wrong way. So
You can do a loop through it.
I admire your optimism, Richard.
Yeah. Remember there was a task on Condor Club, which was you had to do loops and all kinds of things.
The fact that you think you're going to get there high enough and fast enough to do that.
Yeah.
User joined your channel.
maybe this is like a war games thing. The only way to win is not to play. It's just a test to see if we're paying attention to the flight plan.
Yeah, also the weather is interesting. I don't know if we have a chance.
Well, me and Richard talked about that. I don't even know how Condor handles overlapping weather systems. I don't know what you get when two different systems move over each other. I don't know if they're like sorted by whichever is the up in the list, so they that one overwrites, or I don't know how they interact. I've never actually tested that.
Wave is very strong, huh? 16 kilometer.
Not that there's going to be any topography to make it wave, though.
Or this hill is not high enough.
Well, also there's airspaces above anyway, so it doesn't matter. You couldn't get high enough to take advantage of it.
So no fun in this task.
Yeah, it's really weird. I don't. That turn point is the airspace.
Maybe a new task set. No, it's DGT.
No, DGT. Yeah, no.
Okay. Yeah, DGT.
Oh my gosh. Maybe never mind. And he managed to make it so there's no clouds anywhere within 100 miles of the start.
Well, I have visitors, so I don't know how long I'll be able to stay in this race, but I'll give it a go anyway.
Here it begins to rain. Thunderstorm. I finished the tour with the grandchild's just in time.
I didn't catch where that tow height was set to if I wanted to fire the engine up.
921.
Huh. Is that meters?
Yes.
Although with the air start, it's probably best just to
No sound. I'm going to have to hop out and try and fix the sound. I've got nothing.
yeah, 7 minutes, and there's plenty of room on the server, so. We got a blue thermal on the south of the start sector. And there's a new cloud too. That's having been a chance to check it out.
I have also a blue thermal, about 2. Blue line.
Also, the thermals in one of those areas, I think it's the overdeveloped area, probably are not going to be, I mean, none of them are particularly great, but they're they're probably going to be weaker than it looks like it should be because he had the upper clouds turn up to maximum, and those do weaken thermals. So I think it was moderate strength or whatever. That's gonna be more like weak thermals.
Yeah, Davis Chapins did a really good task a week or two ago, where he had two weather systems, and the only difference was the upper level clouds. And it was really educational because you could see the effect that and only that had on everything else. And it softened it up a lot.
I was thinking about there's that new Colorado map. I remember watching Clemens doing one of the flights where he was out in Colorado, and I think there were like storms way out to his west, like just way completely out of the area was that. But there was a really big area of really heavy cirrus moving towards him, and it basically cut the thermals off because there was they were heavy enough that they actually weakened the everything, and there's like that'd be kind of an interesting way to change it. Make it like that, make like a little area of like thunderstorms off in distance that you people go look at and go, oh, that's not a problem. But but there's tons of cirrus clouds downwind of them, so yeah, it's. I mean, honestly, even out here in this weather zone, they've got up pretty high.
Morning, good afternoon, guys.
Good morning.
Hi, Mark.
Hi.
Mark, you with us today, huh?
I am. It'll be my last day for a while, though. I won't be back until Sunday at the earliest.
It's a weird-looking turn point 3. I don't think I've seen one like that before.
It's a gate.
Yeah, it's a gate. Yeah. There's some debate about which direction you need to go through it. It's either west or east, and we're not. We can't agree on which way it's going to be.
Let's have Mark go through it first and tell us.
There's no penalty point set to the wrong entry, so if he goes through it and it does not change, you just need to go through from the other direction. But it's either going to be you need to enter it from the west or the east.
I thought it showed up on the map as like a little C shape, and you had to go into it, into the cup of the sea.
Okay, if that's how it is, then you need to go head west, because the concave side, the mouth of it, is pointed east, so that you have to fly into it from that side. But we're not really sure, but we'll see.
Does it matter what altitude you're entering at?
No, you have to be. It's 600 meters. The height is 200. We can't remember if that's plus or minus. We can't remember if that's plus or minus 100 meters or if that's 100 meters above, or I don't remember how that works.
Well, it'll show if you have turn point helpers on, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because it's going to be inside the airspace, so you're going to get penalty points for the airspace anyway.
Oh, wait, what's...
Oh, interesting.
I didn't notice this.
Yeah, there's
it's unavoidable that it's in an airspace?
Yeah.
Huh.
Airspace is 457 meters.
What's the airspace is southeast of the waypoint, right?
No, this is turn point.
No, it's sitting on top of it.
Yeah, turn point 3, and the area is southeast of them, no?
Nope, it's in it.
User entered your channel.
Good afternoon.
Hi, Morten.
Hi, Morten.
Good afternoon.
Hey, Morten.
Hi, Morten.
No, Richard, this one is good. 27.
Is the 18 meter like the 15 meter where you want a thermal and landing mode instead of 5?
Yes.
Thank you. I did that last night in a task, and I ended up winning the task, but I'm still not entirely sold on L for thermaling.
Well, the Germans will tell you that that L, when in the flight manual in German, is not landing. It's something about slow.
Yeah, Longa for slow, right?
Is there an airport here today, or we can restart it?
I was going back to the airport to land at it, right where the pole is on the start sector, and I ended up finding a climb on my way back, so I'm just taking that climb instead. But I think the pole is at an airport.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of hard to see because it's basically.
It's a green.
It looks like it's basically in a field. It's hard. It really does not stand out.
Oh, Dave, was that you asking? Yeah, you're coming back the same way I was.
Yeah, it might be on the ground here soon.
Well, if you get to where
green.
I'm at, the top of this little knob spun off a little thermal.
You turn the terminal helpers on, you can see the buildings.
Oh yeah, I guess it's right at the turn point.
Good luck,
Or the
guys.
start.
Good
I'm
luck.
still at climbing.
And watch the bugs too.
Well, they love to start you out low and scratchy today.
Yeah, when we first came in, there wasn't anything near the start sector. There's a few things popping up now, but it's still pretty blue around it.
Yeah, I've got a ways to climb just to get to the start.
That's horrible to get higher.
I think this is kind of dying up where I am, Dave.
Yeah, I'm not getting much more than just a little blip.
Well, Garrett.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck, everyone.
Yes, good luck.
Good
Yeah, good
luck, everyone.
Anybody remember how high we were when we entered the game?
900, 800.
The official engine out altitude is 921.
All right, thanks. Probably not even worth restarting.
Yeah, when I came in, I was below start height.
Yeah, same. I just wasn't sure if I was as low as I am now. I'm still 2,000 feet below the start.
I'm seriously.
Good luck, everyone who started.
I'm just thinking about using my engine and just ignoring the task. Fight with XC-Store and ignore the Condor side anyway.
They're also climbing. I have not starting high. I'm now on the third cloud.
And there's a cloud over here that does not appear to have any lift under it at all, anywhere.
Yeah, but the last terminal was good before start, 27, John.
Yeah,
Well, enjoy it, because as soon as you start hitting them weather zones, the cloud base and climbs get weaker.
I noticed DGT came in and left. Oh, no, he is. I'm sorry, he is still in. I'm just gonna get started. I don't really care at this point anyway. The sooner it's over, the better.
Jim.
Thank you.
Look,
Bye, John.
Congrats. Good luck.
Good luck, Tim.
Well, I was a little bit too fast. 4 points. Good luck, John.
thank you.
That's John.
Good luck, John.
Oh, that's nice. Looks like there's a big giant cloud right there at the turn point.
Found one, Mark. Zen
No,
found it for me.
guys.
I found one here too. How much of a climb do you have? What,
2.5 knots average.
okay, I got 4 knots over here.
Nice. I'll take anything.
If you can make it over here, I don't know. I'm still gonna have to climb in this for 5 minutes just to get up to the start altitude, though.
Yeah. I've now 1800 and have to fly back. And when I see where the other guy's flying, so you have no extra.
Yeah, the worst thing is we have a tailwind, so the ground speed limit is actually even slower. Because
Yep.
Luck, Richard.
Good luck.
And these clouds don't last long either because the inversion is not very high above the cloud base.
You guys that like the thermal with flap setting 5 or 4 on these 18 meters?
L, apparently.
Oh, really?
I always used to do it at 5, but everyone's been saying L.
JS3 to L.
Oh, of course. The thermal I flew to is already breaking apart.
So I go to start and we'll start then. Don't forget the box.
Thank you.
You can forget the bugs, but the bugs will not forget you.
Yeah.
They can't.
Little buggers.
They are too stupid.
That one died, Dave.
Yeah, it died.
I hate it when I'm struggling before the start. It gets me in the wrong mindset for the rest of the race.
Yeah, nothing like a chin-chin start.
I think on this task, it's probably getting in the right mindset.
Yeah, actually, that's true. I used to, for any of the flights where there were like, more than
Good luck,
40 or
Andreas.
50 people on.
Thank you.
Good luck, Andreas. Yeah, I would
Thanks.
always go find a weak thermal on my own somewhere pre-start. Mostly so that I'd be by myself, but also so that I would, not get spoiled. Really get in the mode where I have to fight for every little bit of climb.
don't know what those weird. I guess they haven't fixed that yet. Those weird glitches in the thermals, which I saw in Tim, your stream the other day. You were climbing up on one of those thermals, and you had a whole bunch of real bad of those glitches. Right, you're up really high, and then just started freaking out on you. Like where the lift suddenly jumped.
Yeah. Maybe it's when you enter the inversion.
Yeah, I don't know. They kind of changed how all it works, but
When the high level wind kicks in, I think that's the reason.
that's supposed to have been changed. It's just really weird. It doesn't quite work as badly as it used to be. Where you get you hit that certain altitude, and then suddenly blam, you hit the wind. Yeah, maybe it's like a leftover from that. It's not quite working right. Because I had it just a minute ago, and I was well below the cloud base.
Someone remind me again which turn point is the gate? Is that turn point 3?
3. Yeah.
The last one, yeah.
Yeah, Exisor doesn't know what to do with the gate.
Yeah, I don't think Alex doesn't either.
Do the guys that make these tasks ever fly these tasks?
That's a good question.
Sometimes they do.
Is in the race.
There have been a couple of tasks that, like, I won the race, and then when I went to upload it, I saw that DGT had flown it faster. So I didn't really win it on Condor Club.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck, Morten.
Thank you.
Of course, the big, dark, nice-looking cloud barely had any lift under it. And probably this really weak, thin, semi-transparent cloud will have like 10 meters per second lift.
That's the way it was last night in the U.S. soaring. It's like almost every cloud didn't work.
Yeah, I mostly just flew that task as if it was a blue task. I didn't really look at the clouds. They were deceptive more often than helpful.
That's
Yeah,
good.
Thanks.
That's good.
Yep.
Yeah, I've messed around with that, at least in Condor2, and pretty sure Condor3 too. The appearance of the clouds don't have any connection to their strength. Now, the only thing it does is if you're watching long enough and you're really paying attention, the speed that the cloud grows the strength does influence that. Because that's how fast the thermal is going up. So the clouds will grow quicker if they're stronger thermals, but you've got to really be paying attention to catch that.
The soaring task that Dave mentioned too, Davis always sets those with high variability of strength, so you have to just sample and you can't assume anything. Well, of course, some tasks don't really let you sample, so I don't know. It's kind of tricky, and sometimes I think there's a little bit too much luck involved in those tasks, but I still fly them.
Yeah, usually the guys are all at the top consistently, though, so. Especially you, Mark. You're always at the top.
No, I'm only at the top when Davis and Ryan aren't flying. If Davis and Ryan are flying, I'm flying for third.
Yeah, good point, I guess.
That's John.
Congrats. Big congrats today, actually.
Oh, wow, I'm just starting and people are already at the turn point. Yeesh.
Oh, I do not know which way I want to go.
Good luck.
Thanks. Now I gotta find
good luck,
people
Mark.
and run everyone down.
They do like car racing, like gliders, where the pit stops are never announced to be. The pit stops are normally closed, and they just randomly at some point during the race say, "Oh, they're open now," and we're not going to tell you how much gas you can get when you get to the pit stop.
It's a good analogy.
I remember talking to someone once about, this was someone who used to play a lot of car driving sims. And I was like, oh yeah, I do glider racing. And then at one point, somehow the subject of AAT tasks came up. And I remember as I was describing it, I could see this look on his face. And it's, you ever describe something and the person's looking at you just thinking, are you crazy? But I told him, I'm like, yeah, people start somewhere over a 1 hour period and then sort of fly in this general area. And then once you're done, a computer figures out how far you flew. And, maybe in an hour or two, then you know who won. And he's just like, that's not racing. That's not racing at all. I had no argument. I mean, he's kind of right.
Well, you can basically, you can actually do almost the same thing with cars. You could do a rally race where you basically say, you have a GPS in the car. It's whoever can drive the longest distance in some, they already do those time trial races where you have to drive on actual city streets and stuff. You just need to, you basically have a pre-calculated time that you need to arrive at. You could basically do the same thing where you have to, it's whoever drives the longest distance at the average speed.
Yeah, go suggest that to a car crowd and see if they like that. They would look at you like you're crazy, and they wouldn't be wrong.
Yeah, honestly, I wish we'd do use my AT task on Condor because I've actually flown those quite a few times, and it's especially on a task like this where the weather is so weird, and you might be like, well, I'm just gonna get it over with as soon as I can. Or if you're feeling lucky, try to push further. Lift was strong for like a half a second when I flew into it, and then nothing. I think my favorite thermal is the thermal that is only strong when you're flying straight through it. And if you start to turn, it gets weak. And as soon as you straighten out to leave again, it gets strong again.
Yeah.
And now the wind direction's all messed up because that weather zone's moving through us.
F1 just quit. He's like, I've had it.
Dave, was your start a real start?
No.
I have a good climb right here, actually. Well, best one I've had.
Yeah, if you guys wait long enough, that other weather zone will be over on top of the other one. It might make the conditions easier. I don't know. It may suppress those storms.
John, on that idea, I'm wondering if it results in any kind of conversion between those two fronts there.
There was actually, it might have actually done a convergence, but the entire area where the convergence on the base zone and this other one going is all on the ridges, and the convergences don't work on ridges. The convergences only affect thermals only develop on flatland areas. They don't do anything on the Alpy terrain, like where it's rugged and stuff.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. I've never actually seen it happen with on Condor with that, so I was just wondering if anybody else had.
Yeah, I've flown tasks with the convergence, and they work quite well. If you say but it just has to be in an area that's flat enough that you don't have the ridge thermals. It's just they work just like like how the flatland thermals disappear when they get to the ridges. The convergence ones do the same thing. I'm going to turn my McCready down. I'm getting low enough. But yeah, if you get an area that's the right conditions for it, yeah, it'll make this basically just be like a wall of thermals along the convergence. It does work. Is the task where I've actually messed around with it was like a sea breeze type area where it was on a coast where it was relatively flat. And it doesn't work out over the shore because if there's no thermal activity over the ground, it still doesn't generate them. So most of the time the water is at no thermals, but so you can't put like a sea breeze front out offshore, unfortunately. They just need to add water spouts for weather. There's a couple semi-promising looking ones.
It'd be nice if ridge lift would work.
Do you mean in this task or in Condor in general? I'm not arguing with either answer. I was just curious which one you meant.
Any of them, it just never works.
You try to do a task, set a task with like 15 to 20 kilometers an hour wind, and then turn the thermals off. Thermal activity off totally. And then see what you get for thermals. Also, it's freaking raining on me. How is it raining on me here? There's nothing above me. What the heck?
I mean, basically, thermals are off as far as I'm concerned, and there's no ridge lift.
Yeah, if you set weak thermals, they block the wind. The ridge wind just stops when it hits them.
Yeah, I think there's something wrong with their parameters. They need to fix it.
I'm not holding my breath waiting for a fix because they haven't really even acknowledged that it's a problem. Every time it comes up in the forums, they just sort of post that it's super accurate and realistic.
The things they get fixated on the thermals, and I mean, like I said, the thermals to me seem to work. I'm sorry, ridge lift seems to work just fine if you turn off thermals.
But that's not the real life.
Task where
it makes it stronger.
That seems to work. It's just the interaction between the thermals and the ridge seems really strange.
I don't think. Well, I know that they don't model rotor on the lee side. But I think that combined with everything else is just like the lee side, much more interesting lifty stuff is happening than would happen in real life.
Yeah, well, when you get like the sun shining, like if the wind and the sun's on them coming in different directions, yeah, then you get like thermals blowing up the lee side stuff, and I don't know. It's just I just wish the thermals didn't slow the wind over the ridges. It's like that makes no sense. A thermal is just warmer air. It's not an object. It doesn't stop the wind. It has its own inertia. It's fine when it gets above the ridge. Maybe if it, it'll keep its trajectory a bit before curving, which is what it does. But it should make the lift better. When you're flying along a slope and there's a thermal and wind, it should be better, not worse.
Yeah, if you're standing on a ridge and it's blowing 10 miles an hour and then a thermal comes through, it'll start blowing 15 or 17, and it'll actually increase the speed because of the thermal. It can also block the wind too, but a lot of times it increases it.
And again, I'm just talking about like it's a thermal and the winds from the same side. If you got thermal on the opposite side, like sun and the wind are from different directions, then I don't even want to know what that does. And even in real life, it's probably kind of weird mixed up stuff, but
yeah, when I was hang gliding, you could stand on a hill with the wind blowing in your face, and then the wind stops or maybe reverses slightly just before the thermal comes, and then it blows twice as hard when the thermal comes.
Yeah, I've done that even flatlands. I've out here in Kansas. I've been out in the field. I went out on a day that had really well developed cumulus clouds, and you sail like somewhere. And you can tell when the thermal's coming because the wind will, if it's like wherever the overall wind will be reduced because the air is being pulled into the thermal, and then when it goes over, it gets kind of still. And then when it goes past, you can feel the temperature difference too. And then when as it gets past, the wind picks back up even stronger because it's being, it
kind of works both ways. It can speed it up and slow it down.
But these ridge thermals are stationary. So it's not like they're not really going to be moving over the ridge. But of course, that's a whole other thing is that you never have, on Condor3 now, you don't have flatland thermals anywhere near ridges. So you don't have thermals moving over the ridge anymore.
It seems like they just went too far the other way. Like they had it too far in Condor2 where it's too easy, and now it's too hard. It's like they need to go in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, you don't get any, thermals starting in the valley and then moving up towards the hill. That doesn't happen. It seems like the thermals are just taking off from the top of the hill. Or near the top.
Sure, it'd be nice if we knew the coder where we could test it out and tweak it a little bit and just experiment,
Yeah.
Or I mean, they might be working on it too. They haven't.
Well, something else I've been asking for forever is thermal helpers are nice, but what I really want is something that shows the entire wind field.
Yeah,
Yes.
like the Microsoft Flight Simulator does that, I think. Which is how we realized it was so crap.
That's why they don't want to show it to you, because then you'll know what's going on.
Well, I mean, that would be such a good learning tool, though. I mean, Microsoft Flight Simulator actually does it, and it annoys me because they don't do a whole lot well, but they do that really well.
Yeah.
Burger Morten?
I have a radio control simulator that does the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, there is a forum post going about all this stuff, and a lot of people are chiming in saying it's very realistic and accurate, but I don't know if I agree.
Again, though, there's several different issues at the same time. I mean, people are complaining about the ridges, but the ridge lift, like I said, if you just turn off thermals, the ridge lift seems fine.
The problem with that is we always have thermals like every single day. So how do you do that? You're just going to do ridge lift only?
Well, yeah, you can do. That's when we used to have tasks like that in Condor 2, but for some reason they just don't do that anymore.
I've seen a couple task setters just set a weather zone right above the ridge where there's zero thermal activity. And it's very clear that they want you to go down that ridge. But, I mean, needing to do that just feels weird.
Well, that's the other reason why I was thinking, I kind of wish they just had separate settings, totally separate settings for ridge and flatland thermals. That way you could just turn ridge activity off and have flatland thermals on, because I mean, that's probably not very realistic, but
I think we have to view it in otherwise. When I ask Uwe and Frank, they tell always it's really realistic, but it's maybe realistic on the right way, which you've flown in the real world. I think it's not possible to make it realistic on the whole map, on the whole average, or on whole level of height. I think this is too difficult to have the right lift on the right height on the whole map.
I mean, like I said, I think really the issue right now is just more the ridge thermals just act weird. I mean, like the not going down, extending. Lots of times they just literally start at the top of the thermal, and then if you get 100 meters below that, there's no lift. It's like the air has to be going into it from below.
Yeah, I think more that in normal you don't fly so low.
Well, no,
so you don't have this issue.
Yes, but you're not. That's not that bad to be 100 meters below the top of the ridge when the ridge is 2,000 meters tall.
I know. I fly also different with the paraglider. I'm flying lower. But for this case, for tournament and tournament training for real life conditions, maybe we have to fly also like in real life.
Well, I mean, how often the real life tasks end up everybody flying along a cloud base, along a ridge
with a minimum safety. Yeah?
But I mean, I know in flatland thermals, if you get cloud shooting, that's kind of what you do. But the ridge things just seems weird.
How far I know Condor3 now, it's not much possibility to get over when you're below the ridge, and only the hills which standing free with wind direction, they have lift from a lower level that you could go up again. Rest is lost.
It seems like the only way to catch a good thermal in this version is if you're on flats. It's the only way you can catch a low thermal, really. You can't catch it on the ridge.
I think there's a very heavy bias towards the Alps, too, which I mean, the Alps, they're kind of a unique thing. There are, like, if this were developed by developers in the Northeast United States, I think you'd get a much different weather model.
I mean, another thing it's missing is, I think this, I suspect part of the problem is that some of the stuff has been designed to have the valley winds working, and they're not in there right now.
Yeah.
So if they get the valley winds
wind
working,
is not existing at the moment.
Yeah, that might change things. It might add more wind into the valleys. That might help a lot.
I must be honest also with the Swiss task. I had always wind on the ridges. I don't know the difference between these tasks. All was weaker than we have. And we had lift on the ridges, also lower. Congrats.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Congrats. Yeah.
Congrats.
Field is really stretched, huh?
I'm actually minus 5 miles right now.
Behind the start still.
I'm going backwards the other way. I'm going the other way.
Oh, this thermal's dying, isn't it?
2,300 feet from the start on altitude. I will say the ridge lift is keeping me alive, but nothing more than that.
Well, often the task setter set the wind to 15 or 20 kilometers per hour. I mean, if it was knots, it would be okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so nice, silent. Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was a big discussion.
Yeah, I can't hear my Vario sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I do like the weather model. I mean, it's much more realistic than the previous version.
Yeah. It's realistic insofar as it's harder.
Yeah, and I mean, there are actually only a few developers on this one here, and it's not you can say the primary work for them. So if you look at that, I think it's actually quite okay.
There is only one.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as I know, yours is the sole programmer.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Well, for as much money as people spend on sailplanes and stuff, there should be more, shouldn't there?
I don't think
it's a small crowd.
I mean, there's millions and millions and millions of dollars on sailplanes, like way more than hang gliding.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, obviously it's not the same company, but there was Silent Wings was another glider sim, but as far as I know, it's dead. I've looked at it, and their site hasn't ever been updated or anything. So
I think Uwas is a meteorologist, so he will be spending a lot of time on the weather models.
I mean, I'd chip in triple or quadruple what I paid for this game to have it more realistic, because I spent a lot of time in this thing.
Yeah, and as much as I complain about it, it is still cost per hour an incredibly good deal for me.
Yeah.
I mean, even for Condor3, my amortized cost per hour is under $1 an hour already, which is terrific entertainment.
You don't get that in the cinema?
Yeah, and that used to be the model that they used when someone was asking. I think you might have had it on their website where they asked why the planes cost what they do, and the model was that they wanted a plane to cost about as much as one evening and one movie at the cinema.
Yeah, reasonable.
No, don't give them
Absolutely
that idea.
reasonable. Yeah,
Because that would make the planes a lot more expensive.
yeah, that's true. These days, going to the movies costs a lot.
I think the nearest cinema here is 160 kilometers away. So it's an expensive exercise.
Oh wow! Where is it that it's that far away for you?
The nearest one that I know of is in Oslo.
Our tiny little crummy town, we actually have a little movie theater. It's ran by volunteers, but
Yeah, we have one of those. I think it's one film maybe per fortnight or something.
And there's a Finnish bit over here.
I don't think I've ever quit a task, but I'm about ready to.
Why?
I don't think I'm gonna make the start gate time.
your distance is looking a little on the low side.
I don't remember ever rage quitting ever, but today I'm close.
Yeah, even my start was kind of at the upper limit of what I'm willing to put up with, and I got lucky and got out of there.
My start was 60 meters below start height, and I think I was doing about 150.
Hello, the rain is coming.
Oh man, I was worried about that. I saw this big dark cloud here. I'm like, this better not rain. And it's starting to fall down right now.
In reality or in the...
Reality. I'm sorry. What? Sorry. In Condor, the thermal is right. There's a big dark cloud right before the turn point. I can see the rain falling right now.
Yep.
I talked about.
Yep. You were the first one to catch it there, Garrity. I saw it coming. I was like, oh no. I saw the big dark cloud. I was like, is that kind of raining? I mean, the lift is still good right here, so I guess.
It's like I'm trapped between 1,000 feet in here. I just cannot get out of this. There's two other guys here still stuck with me as well. None of us can get out.
What would happen if you landed and just started right at whatever height that was? I mean, you'd be below the start, but is it better than where you are now?
I think I'm higher than the starting, or right in the same spot.
Congrats.
That's good.
Yeah.
Rain on the cami makes it hard to see people too.
Circling in the rain with 3 meters.
What's this? Yeah, it's actually the thermal here is actually pretty good, even though we're getting rain on.
And there you go. The
Nico
airspace
didn't know about
violations
the
have started.
1,300. Yep. It's just 10 kilometers from the turn point. You got to be but 1370.
Above.
Yeah, which is it? Do you have to be below or above? I thought it was above.
1370 below.
Oh.
Now we're getting lightning and thunder. This is even more exciting now. Jeez.
So was it 1370?
Yep.
Thanks.
Now it's hailing. Freezing rain. Icing's not bad for gliders, is it?
So I wonder if when you go from one penalty zone to another, if you are already in the penalty zone, if you keep the same penalty or if it adds on to it.
Good question.
Because if you get into it, just stay in it and go through the start or the funky gate at 3 and
You get it twice when you go in and out.
No, you get it twice if you go.
never leave the penalty zone. It's just
Yep.
the penalty zone drops from 13 to 470.
So it means I must be the whole time under 1370, right?
If it's possible, yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the zone with 1270. Yeah, no penalty.
This is totally realistic. You could definitely climb under a thunderstorm with massive lightning, right?
Actually, yeah, definitely. I've done it. I remember one time I was thermaling in there was a massive downpour or squall, like 300 feet from me, and then I was climbing up like a bandit, and there was lightning coming down everywhere. It was really crazy in Texas.
Well, last weekend I was working as an instructor in our club, and it was completely overcast. And Denmark is quite flat, believe me. And we was training an aero tow, and then I think I released in 600 meters, and then there was a wave and climbed 100 meters. Where it came from, I got no idea.
I see you, Mark. You're back?
Yeah, I came a little bit south of Turn Point because there's a ridge here. Everyone else did the same thing.
Oh, come on. Why is it still raining on me? I'm nowhere near that storm now.
Yeah, it took me forever to get out of it.
DGT is very low.
Congrats, Andy.
Merci.
Congrats.
There we are.
Below is 1,300.
And 70.
70. Yeah, I think it's nearly not possible. Oh.
Congrats, John.
John?
Can't you just go a little bit out to the west, maybe?
Congrats.
Like I said, it doesn't really matter because the finish at term point 3 is in. There is no way to not get airspace penalty at term point 3.
Okay.
But yeah, that. No. In this airspace, the one that everyone's talking about, yeah, the base is 1372. It extends all the way along the ridge, so you have to go under it. You can't go around it. And there's a thunderstorm building up right there along the course to the next turn point. Nice. This is ridiculous. I don't understand did he just not pay attention when he made his task, or I just don't get it. I don't know. The weather was annoying, but whatever. Survivable. Although assuming you could actually start, but that's a.
They love to punish you for before you start. I don't understand it. Why they start you so low and they just make it so hard to start. Like,
yeah, I remember
the only day. It's like this all the time.
I remember I know one of these tasks somebody actually put a little area next to the start sector that was strong. That's something.
It's raining again. It's raining again.
I see that one. And then I gotta dive to get below the airspace.
How low? 1,370.
Yeah, 1372.
Thank you.
No, I have to be a little bit more down at 1280 because it shows me that I'm 90 meters too high.
But now you go higher. It's just a small gap.
This is ridiculous.
Well, that cloud didn't work and I'm screwed. See if I can find somewhere flat to land.
Oh, I should make a picture. That's nice.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Congrats.
EGP didn't flown to the turn point. Strange.
So, Tim, why did you go into the airspace?
1370.
Well, I wanted to keep my altitude.
Okay.
No, it's not so much
that
sink
was
in the area.
yeah, that was not a bad decision to take the 50 points.
No, it's possible without points.
DGT flying in the west. Strange.
Yeah, I see that. DGT keeps going out west. Is he going all the way around?
He didn't pass the turn point either.
Oh, he's
He
probably
didn't hit the turn point. Okay, that I can't
May
explain.
do not finish.
Is the whole area
Which one?
till the task point 3, 1370?
No, the area around turn point 3 is 457 meters.
Yeah, there is very small to go in. You have to fly low.
So I should be under 1370 the whole time, or?
No.
Slower.
When you're about 10 kilometers from the turn point, it goes down to 471 if you're on the blue line. If you're slightly west of the blue line, you can stay high and go directly east at the turn point, and just about 2 kilometers before you get to the turn point, you need to be at the 470 or 450.
That's why DGT going so to the west.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You'll still, no matter what
Yeah.
you're going to do, you're going to get penalty points.
Yep. But hopefully just once.
May DGT go to this ridge there.
Yeah.
It's
I'm not-
impossible. It's impossible to go above 1371. You cannot get to turn point 3 without going below the 1370.
Yeah, that was I asking. So I can
Yes,
climb
right.
above 1370 or what?
Basically, the trick is just to get one airspace penalty.
Rick is also very low, huh?
So it's possible to stay still under 1370, and that's okay or what?
Where you and I are at, in about 10 kilometers, if you go straight at the turn point, you need to be 471. If you go out to the west a little bit, you can stay at the 1370 until you get within about 2 kilometers due west of the turn point. Then you're going to get into the 470.
Okay.
Die ganze Flugzone, Gerd, ist so tief.
Ja,
Diese Rechtecke.
außer ich fliege jetzt mit 1350 ganz nach Westen oder was?
I think
Ja,
that
aber dann
cloud's
musst du um
gonna,
den Peak rum, da ist ein dummer Peak.
Andy, what do you think? You think that
Du
cloud's
musst
going to
früh in der
overdevelop
Westen,
again?
kannst vergessen, wir sind schon zu weit.
Andy, see that cloud is between us and the finish? I think it's about to start raining on us.
That's me down.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Yes, your
Yeah,
pain
see
is
you.
over.
Sorry. Me maybe also when I could not catch the cloud.
Befestig.
Was anybody able to get to Cloud Base today?
Yeah, several times.
Yeah, several times, yeah.
Well, that's encouraging, I guess.
Yeah, I'm bummed because I... Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I have a good speed going here, but I have no idea how to now navigate the airspaces.
Me too.
It's correct, it was 4,500 feet.
So far, DGT flying on the west. It's maybe the thing of the task to flying around, not true.
So when I'm 10 kilometers before waypoint, then I must be over 150 meters or
You have to be below 400.
Below?
Get it again. 457 meters. But the bottom of the turn point's higher than that, so you cannot avoid getting a penalty, airspace penalty.
Oh, fantastic.
That's totally blocking. When you have the side view for the helix, you see totally blocking from fields.
Oh, that's not nice.
Yeah, I went for a cloud, and all I got was rain, no lift. So that pushed me down into a valley, so I was screwed.
Wait, and also now we're in the other weather zone where we've got a headwind. So we're fighting a headwind going to the turn point.
Maybe they need like a feedback form for these tasks so we can give them a little feedback on these things.
Well, he's flying right now, so we can yell at him.
Oh, yes.
You could write
who's the
DGT
person
flying.
who's doing the tasks?
Well, the easy way to solve this is just yell, "Who's the idiot who made this task?" really loud in chat. I don't know.
I mean, I can't really complain. They got to make a task every day of the week. That's got to be difficult.
Yeah,
I think you
for
just...
U.S. nightly soaring, I know how hard that was. Like, we did that for a decade. There was another guy who made the tasks most night, but sometimes I took over, and it's hard. It is really hard to make a task every single day.
Yeah, I just the problem is just the airspace, and this would be a weird and difficult enough task anyway. But the airspace is like, really, come on. Just honestly, it's better just to start with no airspace and then turn on airspace as you needed.
And putting a turn point deliberately so that you can't turn it without getting penalties is just stupid.
Yeah.
Well, also, even using those gates, I don't understand why you use that gate. I almost wonder if this is like a Condor3 task that's been converted. Because the date on it is 2024 as well.
And why so difficult? He written in the mail to me when I've done several tasks, it has to be easy. Tchin Tchin is for everybody. I don't see that it's easy.
Well, I should take my leave, gentlemen. Good luck, and enjoy what remains of your flight.
Yeah,
thanks, Rick. Have a good one.
Yeah, have a nice evening.
You, bye-bye.
Take care, fellas.
This big dark cloud on the line just started raining.
I have no lift.
Man.
Maybe I have to land out also.
And there goes my DDH completely. God dang it.
Ah, finally made it to Cloud Base. That feels good.
I've been flying at McCready 0. I had DDH to turn point. and then it started raining on me, and it killed my lift.
So this way that DGT went, it was the same way that Condor map actually suggested. So I didn't know that Condor map was that clever.
It makes me angry, this task, a little bit.
Yeah, the PDA says
I quit,
5 to 7.
I quit.
For the turn
I land
point.
out, I quit.
Yeah, so
Sorry, my free
the
time for something like that, no chance.
Yeah, it is plus or minus the height. So the turn. Yeah, so that height. I was thinking it's plus or minus. So it's 600 with 200 height, which means 500 to 700. But oh man, unless I can catch a thermal before I get there, I'm not even gonna be able to turn. I mean, I'll get clout penalties, and then there's so much sink out here too. Past that last storm, I'm just flying in constant sink.
Well, John, I'm glad you stuck with it. I could have sworn a few days ago you said you were done with Condor3, but you're still in it, right?
No, I'm not flying Condor3. I'm flying Flight Simulator. I loaded the task on it. sorry.
No, sorry, it's free time, sorry.
Yeah, this cat task does not help, though.
No, I mean, you got me going today. I've never been so darn frustrated.
Gerd, hast du was?
Kommt.
Yeah, I've landed out. I quit, guys. See you tomorrow. Thanks for the flight. Bye.
Cheers.
Wie hoch
Have a
dürfen
good
wir da?
one.
1370, so wie ich das verstanden habe.
At McCready 0, I've got a DDH of minus 188 for the that turn point. And I'm just flying in constant 1 meter per second NATO sync. Ugh.
Aber mit McCready 1.5 wäre ich daheim.
Oh, blue thermal, thank you.
There's only this airspace in 4,500 feet, correct?
No. There's also the airspace that's 1,500 at the finish. That's the one that's causing the problem, is the 1,500 one at the finish.
Okay.
Gerd, ich probier's. Hoch brauchst du da nicht gehen, weil man müsste ja gleich runter 400, ne?
Ach so, ja. Ich weiß noch nicht genau, wann ich unter 400 muss oder was. Naja.
Wobei Dennis steigt davon auch.
I've got 2.5 meter per second thermal here. 2.6. And it's in the area with no airspace above, so I'm not way above. So at this point, I'm just going to climb so I've got a good fast finish. Because there's no way to avoid the airspace, so I might as well just do a fast finish. I think the DDH for those windows is the center, not the bottom. But I could be wrong with that. I don't remember how that works. Congrats, Dan.
Congrats.
Congrats.
So which height at task point? 470 or 450?
No, just don't even worry about it. It's 500 to 700 meters.
Say again?
It's a window, so it's 500 to 700 meters.
No, I mean the airspace at the task point.
The airspace is like 470 something. So the airspace is below the turn point, so it doesn't matter. You have to fly into it to turn.
You can't.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody has to, right? So
yes, yeah, you cannot avoid it.
No.
Oh, the gate is from 200 to 2,500.
And is from the west to the east, right?
I thought it was from the east to the west.
Actually, yeah. Has anyone actually turned it? Can anyone confirm which direction you need to go through?
I'll turn it from east to west.
So it doesn't matter?
No, it does. It doesn't matter. It won't work if you go the wrong way. There's no penalty points for going the wrong way. It just won't work.
Okay, then I go from the west to the east.
Is it pointing the wrong direction? Maybe if you're reading the task one more time. What do you say about this Imola turn point?
You can go any way from east or from west.
And it will still be registered as a turn it?
Yeah.
Oh, I was so low. I left the airspace and entered it again. Wow.
Someone just got for wrong window entrance.
It was set to no points. But no, you probably didn't get any points.
So I go from the other side, or from east to the west.
Yeah. Dennis, which way did you go through it?
I went through it the wrong way.
Dennis was
which
wrong.
direction were you going?
Yeah, he goes from west to the east, and that was wrong.
Okay, so you have to go west. You have to fly through it going west.
Direction 270, right?
I turned from east to west.
Yeah.
Wow, man, they really messed it up as much as they could, didn't they?
And it didn't let me, there's no penalty for going through the wrong way, but you don't turn the turn point.
Yeah. The Condor PDA is really annoying now. I've got this constant warning now telling me I'm inside the airspace. You can't just
so
tell it.
Scheiß.
I understood what that was.
It's German and it means the weather is very good.
ja, das ist ein Bullscheiße.
Bullscheiße. Nice.
Voll scheiße.
So what
I'm talking
feels
about
like
the weather.
What feels like the best glide speed on these 18 meters?
120.
120 kilometers.
Yeah, probably something like that.
Is if you're looking at the indicated airspeed, is the L indicate your best glide?
Also von rechts nach links, André.
No, on the airspeed gauge, the L is the maximum speed for your landing flaps.
Oh.
Aber ich glaube, ich bin
Or
zu
L
tief.
flaps.
I mean, basically, best glide's real slow, right?
So best glide is the yellow diamond on the airspeed indicator at maximum wing loading.
Oh, the yellow diamond? Wow, that's really low.
It's not really correct.
The yellow diamond's the approach speed for landing. I can't remember if it's empty or full, but.
How high was it? Was it 450 or something?
The turn point is 500 to 700.
Okay. You're going to have to go through this airspace anyway.
So ein Quatsch, du, echt, du.
Ja, wirklich Quatsch.
So you say the turn point is up in the airspace, actually?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Congrats, Tim.
Thank you.
Congrats.
That's Tim.
How did you get the weird penalty points, there, Tim? You finish low or something?
No. But on the way to the last turn point, I was slightly below the airspace.
No, I know, but you get 174. That's not even number 50.
Oh, yeah. I was starting a little bit too fast.
Congrats.
But I thought with the penalty points I'm going to pick up today, it's nothing. 4 points.
My penalty was starting 2,500 feet too low.
Did it work west to east?
You have to go west, basically. Yes. You need to be going from east to west to turn.
Yeah, and I have done it on the wrong way, and it cost me 50 points.
And it didn't actually count. It shouldn't have counted any points. There were no penalty points for it.
So it looks like Dennis became also points because he had 79.
100%. Before the turn point, I have 50 penalties because of the airspace.
Yeah, and Dennis became also 50 again, additionally.
That's weird. I
think I burnt off too much height.
I swear it was set to 0 in the task.
Thank you, base.
50 meters.
Yeah, Gerd, you did very well with a few penalty points.
Yeah, but it was not good today. No.
Oh, shoot. I didn't want to leave the airspace. Okay, it's fine, whatever. Just don't go back into it.
Yeah. Pull up, John.
I think May is trying to get as many penalty points as possible.
And there's no minimum height for the final?
No.
50.
Actually, there is. There is.
50 meters.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know I've asked this before. I'm sorry for asking it again, but is the idea that you stay west of the airspaces until near the turn point, then you just suck it up, hit the turn point, and finish?
Well,
No.
it's just there's nothing you can do to avoid the airspace at the finish. It's just
So
trying to fly into any airspace more than once.
Get high, and when you enter the airspace that's the 470, just stay well above it, go through the box between, at 600 meters and go to the finish. And you only get one 50 point.
Okay,
it's impossible not to get the 50 point.
Okay, that's my
get into
plan.
that airspace
Cool.
and stay in it.
Cool.
Yeah,
I got what I need, thanks.
Yeah, but
when I
don't get
finished
the earlier.
over, so when I finished over 50 at the finish, I had no 50 penalty, 29 penalty points. I have it now. I hadn't 50 meters at the ground.
Yeah, how did DGT get 61 penalty points? He had 50 before. What is going on with this?
Talk to y'all later.
Yeah, bye. So I thought 0 meters is my finish height. So I heard 50 now.
Congrats, John.
Thanks.
And you, Gerd, du hast den Turnpoint doch in die gleiche Richtung wie ich durchfloge von
Rechts nach links.
Ich bin von links nach rechts.
Ja, von Osten nach Westen. And I finished not with 50 meters at the end. I thought 0 meters. So I became 29 points additionally. So
it's 50. So you finished below 50 is probably what it was then.
I finished below 50, yes. So another penalty points, 29.
Also, my frame rate is dropped down here too. The frame rate is not good out here.
Oh, very bad.
I can crash on DGT if anyone wants me to. He's landed. Oh dear. Wow, you're going to do a really good morning. Yeah,
that was a very confused task here. Very confused.
Gratitude.
Congrats.
Look what I write.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Congrats, Morten.
He did say in chat it was a mistake.
Congrats, Morten.
Thank you.
Det var godt fløjet.
Yeah, thanks. I think I did good because you came with all the right hints.
There's a starfighter.
Yeah, I'll say bye for now. Congrats all and good luck.
Yeah,
Thanks, have a good one.
And for me, good flight, Doug and Mark and Dave. Yeah.
Bye for now, chaps.
Have a good day.
Disconnected.